Welcome to my channel World of Forensic. Today we are going to discuss about digital victim identification. Now we have the introduction. So before knowing the what is digital victim identification, we should know what is a disaster and what are victims. So disaster is any natural or man-made phenomena that causes damage to the people and also to our environment. And who are victims? Victims are the persons who gets affected by the disaster or any other kind of harm, which may be by any natural event or by man-made events. So now comes disaster victim identification. So the to identify the victims who are affected by those disaster, we have the disaster victim identification. So this is a systematic process for identifying victims of a mass casualty, which may be natural or man-made. So this disaster victim identification incorporates the various scientific and non-scientific methods for the identification of its victims. Now, as we said, the disasters may be natural or man-made. The natural disasters include meteorological disasters, geographical and also biological disasters. And man-made includes technological, industrial, and security-related disasters. So, like this, we have the technological disaster. The last we faced, that is the Ahmedabad flight accident. Flight accident, we can say that one. Biological includes our coronavirus, where a lot of people had died. Like this, we have the disasters. Now comes the methods using identification of the victim. So there are basically two methods, that is the primary identifiers and the secondary identifiers. The primary identifiers are the most reliable methods used for identification of an individual. And this includes the fingerprints, DNA, odontology. So the fingerprints are basically the prints of the fingers of a person. The DNA, it deals with the genetic combination of a person, and it is different in every individual, like that of the fingerprints also. And odontology, it deals with the arrangement of the teeth. And this odontological, that is the dental pattern of a person, also helps in identification of a person. Like if a person has done any surgery or anything and with their teeth, then if on the examination of the teeth, that is also, that is the odontological or the dental identification of that person. It helps to identify the person by checking their dental records. The rest of the secondary identifiers, which are of less importance and only considered useful when the primary identifiers are not available. And this includes the physical features, clothing, ornaments, tattoos. So by the physical description of a person, we can identify the victims, that this person will be the person who is. Now, also the of clothing that the person was wearing at the time of the accident, the ornaments. Sometimes many people means some special ornaments also there, and tattoos. These are important as it may be like two persons have the same tattoos, but the person the family persons can also identify the person based on the tattoos. But the primary identifiers are the most important and most reliable methods to identify a victim. Now comes the importance of disaster victim identification. So after any disaster, it is the right of the members of that person's family to get the information or get the basically the dead body or the corpse. But in many disasters, it is not possible to get the whole corpse of the person. Maybe in that cases, we deliver the fragments or the ashes that we recover from that person. So The importance lies in providing the closure to families of the victims by identifying the victims. It also helps to identify the modus operandi in case of man-made disasters. It prevents misidentification of victims. It is also important for judicial and insurance purposes. So, by the identification, by using the primary and the secondary identification method, we get to identify the victim, and it prevents from delivering a wrong corpse of the person or the victim to the family members. And it's also important in judicial and insurance purposes. So, in case of life insurance, basically. Now comes the challenges of disaster victim identification. It is very difficult as the remains are severely damaged in case of mass disasters. There is a lack of antemortem. If there is lack of antemortem records, it's difficult to identify a person. Also, DNA gets degraded in an environment, making it difficult to obtain a suitable profile from the fragmented DNA. So, we can say that after a mass disaster, it may be like uh, the bodies get so damaged that, and in that case, the DNAs also get mixed up. Like if the tissues of two persons after mass disaster, they get um, stick or something like that, then it is difficult to extract the DNA from that. And that are basically in cases of that severely damaged victim body. And if there is lack of the antemortem records, like the that one, the dental pattern, fingerprint pattern, like without any record from the before the death of the person, that is the antemortem records, it is difficult to identify the person. Now we have some cases where the disaster victim identification was done, which includes the case of Air France AF447 crash, where fingerprinting and DNA profiling was used, which is the case of 2009. The Bureau Code Blast case of 2020, where DNA profiling was used in identification of the victims. Israel attacks of 2023, where forensic odontology played an important role in identification of the victims. Uttarakhand floods of 2013, where DNA profiling was used. The Air India crash AI 171, case of 2025, where DNA profiling was used. Bangalore Nande plane fire of 2013, where DNA profiling was used in identification of the disaster victims. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos on forensic science.